This is August 25th, 2025. The sleazeball showed up again, the drug cartel. They're sleazeballs. Like I said, you would think this is of a guy in a show. Greasy hair, big gaudy jewelry, big rings, counting money, breaking people's arms and fingers, shaking down senior citizens for their Social Security check. The back alley kind of people. That's the kind of sleazeballs. Okay? Today I came home from work and I had did that video and then I went to bed for a while. Got up and went out to eat with my husband. We go down to Dutch Valley Restaurant. Some sleazeballs come in from 18. See, I listened to her of all the different things they have on these people when they admitted to drugging her and tell her to say it, to framing her, and what kind of drugs they used on her, make her sleepwalk. And then her ex-daughter-in-law, telling the kids to lie and all this other stuff. He said, and when they started saying stuff about Agent John being stealing the money for gay male prostitutes and all this other stuff, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be known to steal somebody's Social Security check that low. I thought they had money. Sleazeball. 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 Trying to rob the elderly. And they better not say anything. They already got all this. Well, as if you didn't know. It's coming down to this. As if you didn't know. The FBI case they sold it the first month of the case. Even teenagers have it. That church is sending it out in emails with links to it. Government technology. So as if you didn't know. Yeah, right. I'm busy right now.
No, I'm looking for
Don't come in.
things to go to year.
I don't want to redo this tape. See, there was a point in time trying to be an FBI informant and then dealing with the shit going around me. And the cartel showing up. He's heard quite a bit of it here and there. And a lot of times he don't wear his hearing aids, so he don't have to listen to your idiot. And what about jump potholes or walk around saying stuff like that? You know, that's where I didn't say anything. We got in the car. We went up to Walmart 62. Because when they came in and they started saying shit, I just looked at them and I laughed. You can fucking stay away from me. Because I'll tell you what, people work the case already know you're a sleazeball. They were calling you a sleazeball in Walmart 62. Some of those sleazeballs from the case showed up. We seen them around her saying stuff. They showed up again. I know. It's a drug cartel. The Florida, the Henry Mafies group. Gentlemen's Club from Florida. Judge Peters group. Sleazeballs. They already admitted it was them in 19 at Faith Family Church that they were where he had bruises before throwing up and infected. Well, they did that in 18 Walmart. That it was them, that they were drugging me and telling me to say stuff, photoshopped all their lies, erased people out of the room. The fake FBI agent that tortured me was with them. The Portage County sheriffs were with them at Faith Family Church. 3,000 people seen them. And they were running the drug scam. Where Florida tells everyone that they're the ones running it. See, that's where these people showing up and saying stuff. Well, I made sure on the way up there, if they're going to show up, you know what I did? I had some other sleazeball sitting at the table down at Dutch Valley Restaurant. Well, the agent that said she couldn't say anything, that's why nobody helped her. Agent John. I went over the recorded line. I don't find you funny. Nobody does. They were complaining about you in Walmart 62. We all heard how that idiot talked to her. He confessed to telling on her. And they were complaining about that Lauren and Michelle, saying they were dating you. Now we're going to go ahead and go through all of this. Okay. See, they told everybody when the case first started in 18, you were friends with the people that did this, that they called you. That's why they didn't get arrested, that you were helping get away with it. That you were actually friends with the people that did this. Where later on they said they paid you off, you stole the money on the first day, you stole it for your girlfriend, then you had stole it from male prostitutes and owed a drug dealer money, that you're some kind of swinger with a drug problem, that they, then they made fun of you for falling for it, they dared the FBI to fix it, and then August 5th, 25, in Dutch Valley Restaurant, they called you a coward as if you didn't know they drugged me and told me to say it before with hypnotic drugs. You were telling people you knew I was being drugged, being raped, and you didn't care. Before, and you knew they tortured me, and now you're some kind of coward. That you let that happen, and you didn't stop them. See, that's where they keep mocking you. And then you got to start thinking, why? Where last night when I went through everything, there was people from the case outside. Well, we all know her case is a nationwide human trafficking scam. That's why we all help out. And you know what? If you don't want to work my case now, there's a lot of officers and a lot of agents that do. Because there's a lot of drug cartel and they got really big people off this. And that's where it comes down to when people find out what kind of human traffickers and terrorists were connected to this, they can't wait to try to find them or get set up to rescue hundreds of kids, take down thousands of drug cartels that were drug cartel guys that were attached to this. You got ones out of Buffalo, New York, Michigan, California. Judge Peters out of Florida, 100 men. They've been after the Texas group and getting different groups. They rescued hundreds of kids, took down thousands of human traffickers. In Marshall's case, got 801 sweep. Got ones out of Tennessee, Kentucky, where they were here pronouncing their crimes around me and then playing a game of the different cartels playing for the harassment. And they got surveillance underneath all of them. And they just left me in the middle while they tormented me and harmed me. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. This case also, down at Dutch Valley Restaurant, they said the ones working the case realized where that guy said he was running a social experiment, that this whole thing was a social experiment. That if they killed someone in front of everyone, if society would help and if they would actually stop them. Like they said, they realized this whole thing was an experiment and they're going to do this to someone else, somewhere else. They didn't stop them here. Oh, I know. Run a drug scam of drugs and told us they had photoshopping, send out emails, hate crimes, have society turn on them and see if society will kill them for it while they were grabbing and selling a bunch of other people. And they get away with human trafficking, and people are too stupid to be horrified and tell on the bastards. Get the idea? Now, Agent John, where those people were so ignorant, and this is where your people are using their low IQ. Okay? I called the hotline. The next day, I can't answer the phone because they had drugged me up so bad. Let it go to voicemail later on. So drugged up and bubbled up. I am holding on the wall to get to the bathroom, get to the refrigerator. Got back in bed. Listen voicemail, this is Agent Dada. Call me back. I can't. I fall back to sleep. Second day, not much better. Third day, made myself get up. Holding my head on the front porch, I feel drunk and I don't drink. What's wrong with me? Again, got enough air in my face. Called one of my witnesses. They said they would witness for me that I already gave the hotline. Went out and bought a car, put your number in it. Dropped it off at the mall. Went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Minister Paul Paymer got in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent. My office is right there. I walk off. He's screaming at Dave, how dare he bring the FBI up here with threats on her life. Women walk up, he knows she's being drugged, being raped. And he said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises, lost 18 pounds. Severely infected, thought it was the well water. My heart's sinking in my stomach. I go in and sit down, they follow me. He knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. And then, strangest lie, called me a faker. When it was a medication. And if she was going to be mean to their women, he was going to turn her back over to them. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go, we get on the truck. You called the FBI on me. I said, what do you expect with people threatening my life and them showing up? He said, I ought to carry myself. And he goes, for a gun. I put my hand on the couch and he goes to beat me all the way home. Almost jumped on the highway. Ran from him when I got home. Next morning, Rivers of Tears, I call you. I tell you someone told on me the night before. You liar. I tell you about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. You call me a liar. I said he tried to kidnap me before. And before I can say Terry Coverley seen him, you said, oh, come on. Even if a church person seen him, they would never verify him. Well, she did. That's why I didn't tell you about Terry. That I've met with all that family in my office that lost their kid in that traffic accident. The one her father murdered her kid. In vehicular homicide, speeding, ran a stop sign into a semi and killed them both. Her father killed her kid. I wasn't even there. And all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because that strangest liar called me a faker when it was a medication I heard to cover up Tim and Katie's adultery. It's a 15-year-old lie. Okay? Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. 20-year sentence. Why don't you do your job and arrest him? Being a federal agent, I know that I can see your medical records. You know it's medical malpractice, fraud, and medication errors. And you've seen that I almost died. You also could see the police report of Phil speeding, running a stop sign, and killing him and Tyler. And that I wasn't there. And they were in there pulling your leg. To me, there's no damn excuse. I said I really was sick before. He said, was there a camera above that bench when you heard that guy's voice threaten you? I don't know. He said, you either say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I said, what? And he said, you either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. Started screaming crazy crap. Remember? Recorded line. It's a protected custody case with statements. The recorded line had to be attached to the case of you talking to me like this. Did you forget? And you scream, I'll put you in jail. You don't say you're lying right now. You have, it's like, fine, whatever. Ha 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 ha. You know, there was a warrant out for his arrest, right? Killed Lori's family member, went on to take Marlisa's niece. Not so funny, is it? Okay? Now I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. That's ridiculous. I almost died. I said I really was sick before. Oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office, the one her father murdered her kid. And all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you. You say strangers lie. Call me a faker. Conspiracy to commit murder and attempt to murder is federal crimes. Why didn't you do your job and arrest him? Hmm? I said I really was sick before. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually said that. Like an investigator said, I listened to the recorder line and almost fell out of my chair. He actually said it. Hmm? I said I really was sick before, you liar. You say it, I'll leave you there. I said, but they'll kill me, so they've tried to kill me, so say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they've tried to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. Like, murder's not good enough. I said, he said, give me a real reason. And the other agent said, well, we could always use Pete's tape, where Dave told Danny he hired some guy named Pete on his own, so you knew who the rapist was. I've never met him. Then we could always use Pete's tape or Weird with Yourself, the photoshopping or showering my head on somebody else's body washing themselves. Found out what kind of asshole trick it was that nobody knew about. The guy Dave hired on his own. I said, what are you talking about? The only Pete I knew was my brother Medina. And he said something else about Pete. Now it has to be a black and blue mark where I took a drink out of a drink or that they stabbed me with a date rape drunk. B and Rape Me, where I take a drink in the room and go dizzy and black, wake up with injection mark, orange, lemon, grapefruit, sliced bruises, severely infected. Throwing up, headache, almost passing out. Here I'm being drugged, being raped. I'm blaming the dirty well water I'm showering in, thinking it's giving me cancer. You were talking about my rapist. Why didn't you arrest him? I didn't even know who you were talking about. The only Pete I knew was my brother Medina. I said, what are you talking about? He's laughing at me. Stop, she don't know. Bet you're going to say you didn't know anything about this doctor. Da 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 da. You know, I had some other lady use my insurance, and during the case, they had found out March 27, 25, they had got it out of Dave. It was a girlfriend from before me to marry me to get a job at my dad's factory and for her to have free insurance. And for 15 years, some other lady used my insurance, left me with a bunch of copays. Found out my whole marriage was a scam. I had chest pains for days. Him and his other girlfriend were scamming me. That's how not funny this is. I've been with big copays for 15 years. Now I want you to think about this. I thought maybe it was one of her bills. But where March 27, 25, Michelle, one of Dave's other girlfriends, was dating an agent on a rouge. Told him that the reason I don't know who that doctor is, he's not one of mine. He works for them. They had lied. He was one of my doctors. She actually doesn't know who he is. Okay? Well, I thought it was that other lady's doctor where she ran up all those bills. No, here's just a scam. I said, what are you talking about? I don't even know who that is. Okay? He's laughing at me. Stop, she don't know. Give me a real reason why I told him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died working for the government. He said, first of all, have you had any law enforcement or talked to any law enforcement about threats in your life? I said, only 2 officers I've ever talked to. I either call them stupid or silly. August 8th of 18 at midnight, I had light in the security system outside. They came out and told me it looked like an alien orb, an angry spirit, and told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. Didn't want to bother you. You're kidding, right? And I said, no. I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had family and repair guys. Is that what's going on? Do you know if Dave's cheating? I said, I've never caught him. You start laughing at me. And tell that other guy on the, that was making fun of me too. She said she never caught him. Dave verified it December 9th, 18. I never caught him. Why is that funny? And then you said, well, I could take you somewhere and leave you with, but it comes with no money. I have no money to start. Then you just tell me, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. It comes with $5,000 a month. I'm opening an account today and loading in a card. Do you know when you come down and pick it up? I talked to my friend Grant in out of state. He has to run in an FBI office. It was your job to deliver it. Hmm? And you're to hand it to me. Hmm? Not me go pick it up. And I had a lot to deal with the cartel surrounding me. Okay? We're going to put it that way. We're going to put it this way. I was left in hell. And you said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant, nothing legally stated, dated against you again for working this case, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, I'll tell people you're crazy and the FBI won't help you. Okay? But if you need help, my best friend is the chief of police of Canton. He's a really good man, and you can trust him. And he always makes sure the Canton police always protect you. My friend Walter Moss from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office laughed till he had tears, chuckled, had his arms crossed, chuckling. Tears. He said, first of all, the police know they can't go along with any of that. He said the only thing legal that agent did was list your informant with money and immunity. He doesn't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. The police know that. He's only a higher police officer due to the freedom of speech. It takes a judge. And to put a gag order on you, he's only an officer, higher police officer. You don't even have that kind of authority. It was illegal for him to even say it. He was only bullying you, and the police would know that. They can't go along with that. He can't make up his own rules. He can't make up his own restrictions. They can't be in a quarter because only a judge in a jury trial can put a gag order on you due to the freedom of speech. And there's guidelines. And he can't make up his own rules. He's only bullying you. No judge could sign it. He can't tell people they can't help you. He can't bully you into false statements under threats. The only thing legal he did was list your informant with money and immunity. Get the money that for the rest of your life. You stay in immunity the rest of your life. Karen, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. You stay yourself and you feed them information. You're not only an informant program, but a threat in an attempt to life case. You can never get out of a witness protection program. These people actually tried to kill you. They could wait and try to kill you again. The most that FBI can do is put you in another witness protection program. And you'll be in protected custody the rest of your life. You get the money for risking your life to get the government information. And you stay in immunity for life. For working this case. And the government owes you for risking your life to get them information. And they owe you that money the rest of your life. That agent cannot withhold it. He cannot misdirect it. And he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. And the police know that. He's only bullying you. So where I've heard since 18, where you admitted, you told on me, and where October and November 22, where people were talking about the case in Trinity Gospel, you know what they said? It's documented, verified in my case, that the agent that returned my phone call from the FBI hotline was the one telling on me to that church. It was you. Dave told Danny he talked to you when I walked off. That he actually met you in person. See, the hundreds actually seen you tell on me, and you confessed on a recorded line, and the recorded line had to be attached to the case for that judge to sign it, and that judge knew you told on me. And you don't have the authority. So where people were mumbling, well, the guy said that she couldn't say anything or no one to help her. He didn't say no one. He said the FBI wouldn't. He can't tell the FBI what to do. You cannot withhold protection, 14th Amendment. Tell whoever you want. You have a freedom of speech. He was only bullying me. See, that's where, Agent John, I like my money. You don't have the authority to withhold my money. You cannot misdirect it. You can't make up your own rules. It's not in a quarter. There's guidelines. And every case comes with money immunity for life. And I see that's where I can't get out of a witness protection program. I talked to a criminal attorney, said the same thing. I talked to the police too. I like my money. I like a medical card. Hmm? A letter of thank you would be nice. And then I'd like to know why these people thought that you would let them get away with this. And did you know him before the case? Hmm? And this thing that you're supposed to be dating, that Lauren and Michelle were part of the Florida human traffickers, rode with big truck guys. They better been lying on you. With Henry Maffei. And they sold a lot of people here. They sold a lot of people. I don't want people showing up and making fun of me because some agent had people in his office and went along with a scam. The Hartville police told people last year that agent told the police that he was only acting that way to get the drug dealers, and they got all those drug dealers off this. And he still didn't pay me. And they are afraid he tricked the police and he stole in front of them, then arrest him. See, that's where Mike DeWine's cousin wanted to know if our police were slow. Why did they arrest that agent the first day for telling on you? He can't tell on you, he can't make up his own rules, and he can't take your money. And we all know you're sleepwalking with those amnesia drugs. And anything can be photoshopped from your hair to your head on somebody else's body, to your background, to what you're wearing. Words out of sentence, other sentence, tape over, make it look like you're saying something you didn't. And nothing's trustworthy, and no one's allowed in your home. See, where these people look at you and say they had special permission to be in our home, no, they didn't. Went to the Portage County Sheriff's, wait, they did as illegal. And they didn't know about it. Neither the Ravenna place. And where they tell you they had the right to drug me, no, they didn't. Beat and rape me, no, they didn't. Is any of it usable against me? No, but they go to jail for harming me. See, that's how stupid this is, and they're using people's ignorance to get away with this. People have admitted they drugged me with hypnotic drugs and told me to say that horrible stuff. That's where on Friday I heard some people talking in the afternoon. Do you know how stupid this is? These people have been talking about how they were all dealing with the king, this drug dealer that actually calls himself the king. Hmm? Hmm? And these people have admitted they drugged her and told her to say horrible things and photoshopped everything. And then her whole family defends her. Even John is running around telling everybody that no one can say anything bad about her. Telling everybody that. And then when he needed her, he needed a reliable name to go on the court records to watch his kids. And they pick him up from school when he went for custody. And then they're blaming Danny and Jen for supposed to be her head on somebody else's body in a shower scene. They didn't know anything about it, and they won't have anything to do with it. And then it was supposed to have been them. Turning it in. See, they're having people impersonate people. That's how dumb all this is. And these people are admitting they did all this to her. That they photoshopped it. You know what else they admitted years ago? They paid off a dirty doctor from before to write up I was insane. It's like, shut up, that's not even funny. I talked to a criminal attorney because they were laughing at me. They paid off a doctor to write up fraud. The only time you can actually be listed insane, you have to stay in a state psychiatric hospital. Only. They get a hold of the court system. A judge has to rule you incompetent or insane. You get put on Social Security disability, a guardian, and a social worker. And until you have that competency hearing, you're not found insane. A doctor does not have that kind of authority. You can't just pay somebody to write up fraud. See, I was a victim of medical malpractice, medication errors, and fraud. They were lying so bad they said I had level 2 brain tumors, epilepsy. They're causing seizures with the medicine, massive body swelling. And they want to remove part of my brain, causing heart attacks. Almost killed me. So to say that they were paying more doctors off to write up fraud? And then mental insanity and mental illness is not curable. It's right on Google. Your brain's damaged. You have to have ongoing treatment, medication. That's why you have to have a competency hearing. You have to have a guardian, a social worker. You're placed on disability. You can never recover from it. Your brain's damaged. Hmm? You can't say somebody has something incurable and they're fine. That's fraud. You never have to justify fraud. And that's just to the point you want to look at them and say, just shut up. You're going to say you pay somebody else to do something else dirty to me? Hmm? First and last name. Nor do I have to justify if you put anything else down as fraud. See, that's where the FBI can see your medical records. Mhm. See where they have some doctor that's not mine and works for them and they have lied and they have stolen somebody else's medical records. I've never been in a state psychiatric hospital. Never had a competency hearing. And they think they stole somebody else's medical records to put my name on. No other doctor that's not yours without your written consent can even pull your medical records. That's stealing documents from a hospital. These are federal crimes. They can't talk about you. They're not your doctor. Attorneys cannot go around bad mouthing you to other people. They can only say something about you in a courtroom. They are held to an ethics standard or they lose their license. Doctors can't run around bad mouthing you and you're not even their patient. They lose their license and go to jail. This hypocrisy of these insane people, of these sleazeballs that you would think with big gaudy jewelry, big gaudy necklaces, and their hair greased back, standing in a back alley, shaking down a senior citizen for Social Security money and breaking people's arms and legs did this to me. Breaking in private homes, they didn't have special permission. They had no right in my home. It's a federal crime. It's a felony invasion of privacy. Cyber stalking, setting up button cameras, voyeurism, taking pictures of people naked, photoshopping shower scenes in the other room, of washing other people's heads on other people's bodies. We're going into cyber stalking, sextortion, sex trafficking videos. Then they sold kitty porn on my grandkids going potty. That's kitty porn. Then they had me drugged for fake confession. That is pharmaceutical torture and kidnapping. Then they had me raped under drugs and human trafficked and attempted murder. You want 100 years? Put your fucking name on it and don't threaten me with your crimes. And don't tell me that these shit ass people, where they're running around paying people off, paid them off before. See, that's where uh, the FBI told the Tuscarora sheriffs when I got my CCW redone, hmm, that the doctors from before that made all those medication errors are dumb. They're so dumb they couldn't even figure out her muscles locked up and threw every kind of diagnosis in the world at her and gave her the wrong meds and almost killed her. They wrote them up as dumb. And see, that's where this thing is. The investigators have been afraid. They paid them off to give me the wrong meds to kill me. And see, any of them would put their name on it that they were actually in it with a cult. It is attempted murder. See, people are looking at this the wrong way. These aren't childish teenage stunts. These are severe federal crimes. And then say, oh, they paid a doctor off to write up this. You know how much that doctor can lose his license real quick? You write up something's wrong with someone that's not curable, and the person is fine. That's flat out fraud. You know what I mean? And it's not what you can't just pay somebody to do an asshole stuff like that. And to say somebody has something incurable and they're fine. And then it's all for just fraud. And until you stand in front of a judge and have a competency hearing and they rule it, you're not found insane or incompetent. The only thing you said, you paid somebody to write a fraud. And they go to jail for that. Just like them telling me I had level 2 brain tumors and they were wanted to remove my pituitary gland. Thank God Altman, I always call them Altman Family, but it's my community health center in the back Altman Hospital. They told me those doctors were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, getting kickbacks from drug companies and sharing with their associates and friends that were known for ripping people off. They were known for doing this. If I would have turned them in 30 years ago, actually 3 years ago, do you realize they would still be in jail for attempted murder and fraud, insurance fraud, medical malpractice. If I would have turned those doctors in for all the mistakes they did, not only would I have been a millionaire, but they would have been in jail. See, that's where none of my doctors could talk to any of them. And see, that I can see your medical records. See where my community health wrote it up in 2002 and then it was documented, then verified when I got off the medication, I got well. There's the medicine making me sick. And they were causing it. They'd seen all that. And then revisited it, had that it was fraud and they were known for it, encouraged David and I to sue them for years. And then Dr. Eli verified it, got me on pain medicine, and got me out moving. And over 9 months, I got well. I almost died from a bunch of crackpots. And they're saying that they paid them off to write up more fraud. They just go to jail. See, people are looking at this stupid. Extremely stupid. Agent John, I like my money. When people found out how you talk to me, then you're supposed to be running around with them asking people to help harass me because you're getting even with me for telling. You told me the night before you confessed on a recorded line and you were seen by hundreds. And like they said, they walked in your office as soon as I called the hotline. They already knew. Like investigators have said, in a case like hers, where they already knew the FBI was involved before it started. The bullshit needs to stop.